Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Military Family Investing. Today, I will be talking about leading the next generation. All right, so these are the young people between age 18 to, I guess, 25, 28-ish. All right, I guess it's Z, Gen Z, and maybe like a little Y, blah, blah, blah. All right, now, I joined the Marine Corps in 99. I'm exiting now into 2023. That's a total of 24 years. So over the last 10 years, the last 5 years, a lot of the new generation has flooded in. All right, and even though I was the E9, I still interact a lot with E3s, E4s, E5s. All right, so this is some of the things I've noticed, and also interacting with my nephews and people that are of that age outside of the Marine Corps. First thing I want to say is that they crave leadership. Okay, their parents weren't necessary leaders. They were best friends. They were shoulder to cry on. They were cheerleaders. They were everything except for leaders. Okay. Leadership is the art of influencing somebody to accomplish a mission. Okay. Somebody once told me the best way to get somebody on your side, if you're the leader, is to ask about them, to care about them. All right. So when you say, what do you plan on accomplishing? What is your goal? Why are you in the workforce? All right. Most of them have never been asked this question. Oh, I'm going to college when I get out. Okay. What are you trying to achieve? I sat down with my nephew yesterday talking about investing. I was like, why do people invest? I don't know. So if I gave you $100, what would you invest in? I don't know. What would be your goal? I don't know. Again, because nobody's ever asked them these questions. All right. The best way to lead now is by asking questions. You already have the answer or the way you would do it, but let them figure out critical thinking. All right. There are times, right? We're all military leaders here or whatever. There are times where you need to tell somebody to shut up and do it, right? Got it. But time permitting, that's not the preferred method. Okay. Again, there are times when things just have to be get done. Don't ask me why. All right. If time permits on the back end, I can explain myself. But most of the time, we have the time to give people the why. All right. So they crave leadership. I mean, if you ask them a couple questions about themselves, they might start crying. That's been my. If you see me playing around here, that's because my phone keeps dimming. I have my little notes on there. Um, they probably will start crying if you ask them about themselves. Hey, how's your relationship going? How are your parents doing? These little things that we used to take for granted 20 years ago are gone in the workplace. Right? These people in the workplace are just numbers walking around. People are being treated like crap in the workforce now. All right. So anything you can do to shine some light on somebody else and help them through just a little bit. I'm not talking about a lot. I'm talking about maybe 2 minutes. If you just remember their last name, they might start crying. All right. People are all alone, afraid. They don't know what's going on. All right. So when you talk to these young people, they will listen. And if they don't, pass them by. Offer, offer the opportunity to talk, chat a little bit, ask them a question about themselves. If they're not talkative, peace. I'm out. I don't worry about it. All right. There's other people but from my experience, everybody I've talked to has been super receptive, more than when I was young. When I was young, man, I was a know-it-all. I was a man. They made me a man by 18. All right. Nobody was gonna tell me anything. I didn't know anything. I went out and I wasn't afraid to make my own mistakes, and I made a lot of them. I had that car payment, 18% interest, right? Right. So I just wanted to do everything myself. These guys aren't like that. Guys and gals are not like that. They are not like that at all. All right. They want somebody to help them understand what's going on. They are like they're just like lambs going off. Okay. They have been set up for failure. It's like one plus one equals two. It's like one plus blank equals two. and they're trying to find the one. That's where you come in. They're a lot more open than we used to be. All right, we used to separate our work life from uh, personal life from our work life but a lot of people don't have relationships, so work has been trying to they've been trying to fill the need with workplace. All right, they want the workplace to be their best friend, to help them out. Their parents are gone. The parents, as soon as they left, the parents went to go dive into debt or get divorced. So parents are infighting. They're not calling the kid. If they do, the kid's just complaining. He's getting no guidance. He doesn't know. For instance, if the kid's struggling at this work, the parent doesn't know how to properly navigate them to a new job, a new career, a new skill set because they've never done it, right? They can't say, hey, watch YouTube. I'll watch YouTube with you. What are your hobbies? Who's making money doing those hobbies? How long does it take to make money doing those hobbies to make it full time? Okay, can you stay in this job for 5 years as you grow something else? The parents never done it. So they're like, oh, go find another government job, right? So the kids are just rebelling. They don't know what to do. The answer that the parents are giving is go find a job with a pension. If you look at most people that are successful, are somewhat surviving, and they're over 60, they've had some kind of government job with a pension or some kind of pension oriented job. Now, most of the jobs don't offer this. So now you have to actually figure out what a 401k is or how to invest. The parents can't offer them any solutions. So they're lost. They're like, okay, I don't want to do 50 years at this job for sure. I don't know where my retirement is going to come from, right? So now they're wasting time. They're being pitched work-life balance and quiet quitting and be happy and find your passion. All this is crap. All right. Best thing to do is learn how to save and invest and buy your freedom and then do all the passion you want, right? Those are things I talked to them about. Okay. And they want to do well. All right. They might come off as lazy. They might just play on their phone. It's because nobody's ever challenged them. That's what they did in high school. They're probably playing on their phone in like middle school. They've never been challenged. So when you challenge them, they're going to rebel at first if you make it too hard. So that's why, as a leader, you have to know the skill set. That's why the Marine Corps was great, right? Was it the 11 leadership principles, 13 leadership principles, and 11 leadership traits, whatever it was. But basically, you have to know your team. You have to know what they're good at, and you have to be able to task them out. All right. So what a lot of things I see now is everybody's coming from these high level meetings. All right, we need to you know, sign this new client up. And then they take that high level event and they go directly to the low level person and be like, hey, work on getting this client. And he's like, well, what does that mean? Exactly. As a leader, you're supposed to break these tasks down into actionable steps. Hey, give me some research on this new client. Come back tomorrow. Okay, got it. All right. Look at the last, or who's their current advertising person. All right. What do they have? Okay, come back tomorrow. Okay, we need to do a 3-page PowerPoint. Come back in a week with that. Okay. Okay. Now let's brainstorm after we do the PowerPoint. Let's look at it. Let's critique it. Okay. Now in a week we need to present. So let's do some screen testing. Let's get you up in front of the camera. Let's make sure that your public speaking is okay. Let's give that a week. Okay. So then in a month, they can actually present it themselves. But you can't just walk in the room and say, give me a presentation for the client. That's not leadership. That's not even delegating. That's just worthless behavior. All right. Your job is to break it down into actionable steps. People like to accomplish things. So you have the top of the to do list and you create it for them. Once they learn how to do certain things, then you give them bigger tasks that they can create their own to do list. All right. And sometimes you have competing tasks, so you prioritize it for them. You're the boss, right? You're the leader. Hey, that new client orientation that we are talking about that's due in a month, I got it, but I need to still one of your weeks and prioritize that. Boom. Got it. I'll try to get the client presentation pushed for a week, but I need this done for this next week. Work that. Okay. Don't just double stack them and be like, hey, work this too. Come on, like we could do better. This young team, it's always been like that. But before the sub management, the junior management was strong. They could take the high level task and break it down for you, right? But now there's a big person and like 10 little people. That's how it's worked now. It's cheaper than having one, two middle and seven at the bottom, right? They just cut that middle team off. So there's a big guy that's thinking big picture, and they talk to a little person and toss these big ideas out. I've seen it, man, for the last 3 years, and I'm sitting there like studied leadership, led Marines, led Marines in combat, and I'm like, man, this guy's not. He's not at that level where he can break these tasks down, nor should he be expected to. What I've seen now, right? So in the Marine Corps, we have something called meritorious leaders, right? Meritorious promotions. So the people that do the best of the best, they get promoted quicker. Okay. Now that's like less than 1%. But what I've seen now is that they want everybody to operate at a meritorious level, right? And that's not in the Marine Corps, just not just in the Marine Corps. This is across the board. Everybody's operating at full capacity. Everybody's scheduling. Everybody's breaking down their steps. Everybody's trying to do to-do list. Everybody's yelling, barking, screaming. It's chaotic. All right. The world's not built for that. The world's built to start at the small position, receive orders, complete tasks. As you grow up, then you receive an order and then you create tasks that you give down to the littler person. Then as you grow up, then there's something called implied task, which means that the person's not going to directly tell you what they're saying. They're going to give their intent. All right. They might say, "Hey, we need to expand into this foreign country," and then you have to generate your own thought process from there. Okay, what are the top 10 expanding emerging countries? Give me a list. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Which one needs this product? Do, 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 do. Okay, good. So, how do we want to present this? Do we want to just talk to them? Do we want to talk to the vendor? Do we want to make a choke point here before we talk to vendors? Do we want to, insert ourselves here? Do we want to just have another partner? Blah, 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 right? That's what you're not built to start like that. That's after years of experience at the bottom, moving up. Okay. So that's what's happening in leadership right now is that there's high level people and there's little people. The high level people are not breaking these tasks down. So the younger generation is hungry. They want to complete. They say they want to, you know, make a difference. They don't know what that means. End of the day is they want to make a difference for themselves first. They say they want to make a difference because they're checking email and sending emails back and forth is not making it anybody's mission. All right. They want to make a PowerPoint. They want to put it in the colors they want. They want to go in front of somebody else, have that adrenaline, have that little anxiety, complete the mission, and go back, celebrate with your team, have a couple drinks, and then do it the next time. Those are things that we took for granted. They don't want to just be set up to get slaughtered and the top. They go present something and then they just get destroyed and nothing was accomplished. But that's what's happening. Lambs. Okay. So understand that this new generation is eager. They want to learn, they want to listen, they want to accomplish tasks. Even if it starts with, hey, can you make sure that the room is organized every day? All right. They're not going to be happy with that at first. But then you say, okay, cool, you've done that for a week. Now you're in charge of creating the training program for everybody that comes in. Now you train them how to clean the room, how to make sure it's organized, how to make sure that it's ready for the conference call. All right. They might say it's beneath them. I got it. You ask yourself if that's somebody you want in your organization. So again, it's very deep stuff. I've been a leader for a long time. I love leadership. I love studying leadership. I love practicing leadership. So, but leadership is not even a word in the corporate atmosphere anymore at all. Barely management's in the word anymore. It's just do things to get things done. Instead of being leaders to remote workers or having one-on-one conference calls with a remote worker and checking in on them and make sure they're okay, what we do is we screen record them or we record their typing to make sure that they're at their keyboard. That's not the way to go. Okay. It's better just to, hey man, check in at 8 o'clock, one on one. Let's just do a one on one meeting. I want to make sure you're okay, make sure you're good to go, and then move on and we'll do it the next day. Okay? These are the numbers we aim for. If you're having problems hitting these numbers, let me know. I can see everything. Unless you tell me, I'm going to assume that you suck. So let me know what's happening. Okay? I'll talk to you tomorrow. Now, that person has the mission, they know what they need to do, and they know they're not being micromanaged, and they have a friend. Okay? Leadership. And I'll probably talk more about leadership. It's a very good thing to talk about because it's severely lacking. Okay. With that being said, I will see you on the next one. Bye.